Hello and welcome to another lovely episode of Roots SEQ. This one inspired by Mount Cotton Road, or rather the constant recommendations that you get as a Southsider talking about motorcycles and how amazing Mount Cotton Road is. Now, I was up late one night watching videos on YouTube, and I remembered all of these recommendations, but I also remembered Mount Cotton Road being kind of boring. So I got out my map book, I looked it up on my big wall, and I couldn't see Mount Cotton Road listed anywhere in the book, so I Googled it, and nobody really seems to care. The reason you go to Mount Cotton Road is one for Sirime Winery, which is lovely, and also the Driver-Trainer Centre out there as well, which is also very, very exciting. I love those two places, really great. But in terms of being a motorcycle road, I don't really know. Just to the west of it, you've got West Mount Cotton Road, very appropriately named. And so I thought I might pop out and have a look. But I was so inspired by this idea that it took me 3 weeks to actually get up and ride out there. Now I'm going to start my journey to the west of Mount Cotton with Ford Road, which is just coming up on the mini map now. Ford Road itself is just a 60 area. It looks like a service road through some residential stuff, but it's quite sparse. It looked really neat, so I thought I'd give it a red hot go just in case Mount Cotton Road wasn't that good. But let's quickly start the episode. Amazing. Well done, me. I love it. Every single time. Now, I set up my sound gear just north, I suppose, of Rochdale, which is a very interesting space if you consider a juxtaposition of dense housing areas versus large former estates with rusting cars and cows in the front yard, which personally I find absolutely fantastic. Arguably some of my favorite scenery on this entire video, which I chose to not record appropriately for you. Now, once I got all my sound gear set up, we were all nice and chirpy. Beginning with Ford Road, we've got these lovely green areas. It was quite quiet. This was in the middle of the week, about midday. There was no reason for this place to be as quiet as it was, but it made for a lovely video. So this section is quite nice. It's only a 60 section. If you were to come here on the weekend just as a warm-up or just as an excuse to be on your motorcycle, fantastic. And this section went, I think, a lot better than my future Mount Cotton section. So enjoy this for now, and I'll leave you be for the moment. Some of these estates featured on this road are quite large, and they're clearly owned by people who utilize all of the space that they have. One of the yards that I passed on this road had about 4 full-size coach buses parked in the front, which I mean is cheaper than paying for them to be stored somewhere. I just found it quite interesting to to ride through this area and discover it, and especially the difference between people who really cultivate their gardens versus just kind of have the natural bushland growing through, and the lack of grass in many spaces, one of which surprisingly I prefer, and it's not the curated garden experience. Even the color difference between the two sides of the road just here is stark and really entertaining. I think if the footage works, the best footage I've got of that kind of thing is through the Tambourine Mountains, where one side of the road is literally ashen black and then the other one is vibrant green. So hopefully I'll be able to return to Tambourine soon and finish that off. For anybody not from Australia, what we're gaining on at the moment is an Australian postie, riding a postie bike, which is classically a Honda CT110, I think it is. Somebody feel free to correct me in the comments. This is how most of the mail is delivered in Australia, and quite frankly, I think it's fantastic because these guys ride on little red Hondas, wearing fluoro yellow everything. And that's how mail is done, and that's completely normal. And so you can consider my surprise when I see mail in other countries being walked places. Insane, ridiculous. Anyhow, he turns here. Goodbye. I believe this is the point that the road is renamed as Avalon Road. I should probably pick that up. Again, it continues on. This is about the halfway point for this particular journey, so if you're planning on riding this one yourself, this is just how easy it is. I'm really pleased that I caught that bird. I was wondering at the time whether or not he was going to be in frame or if he was going to be large in frame or viewable. That was really nice. Now, there's two trucks in front of me. Depending on how you feel, some people are going to lane split to the front. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I tend not to play with trucks in any way, shape, or form, especially not on a turn like this. I find it's not really necessary. If I knew this road explicitly, then maybe I'd be comfortable with exactly what was going to be coming up. But I didn't feel as though it was necessary for me to, be in front of these trucks, despite the ominous presence and what that might mean for the next segment of the journey. Thankfully, they turn pretty quickly. Alright, so Mount Cotton Road itself is an 80 section pretty much the entire way through. It is single lane pretty much the entire way through, and also double white lines for most of it. So if you do a bad roll on the traffic that you happen to find yourself with, it's not very exciting. Which is interesting because you contrast Ford Road and Avalon Road where we've just been. This is Sirame coming up, by the way. Ford Road and Avalon Road are obviously quite slow, only 60 kilometers an hour, and this is an 80 section. This must be much, much, much more exciting, and it's not. It's not. It's quite dull the entire way through. I'm just dancing there for Sirame. That's okay. So, I mean, as much as, yeah, it might be fun to zip along and do my 80, Harley Davidsons love to do 80, it's a real comfortable speed. 60 on the more interesting road, I'll take that any day of the week. always wave for those cars and trucks that see you coming and decide to not enter an intersection. I know it's what they're meant to do, however, we always like to be nice to them anyway. Oh, I was wrong before. That was not Sirame when I mentioned it 2 minutes ago. This is Sirame now. Go and visit Sirame. Sirame's fun. Actually, I don't know what they're doing in the pandemic. Buy some Sirame wine, and I don't get any money for saying that. I just I visited them once, and I just really enjoyed it. So go. If you've not been, go. If you have been, go back. I don't know if you can hear in the background of my voiceover track, but there are currently crickets playing in my yard, and I couldn't give you a better soundbite than that for my feelings towards Mount Cootha Road. Sorry, Mount Cotton Road at this point. I don't know how many times in this video I've said Mount Cootha instead of Mount Cotton. That's how strongly I feel about Mount Cotton Road. Alright, see that intersection? That's it, that's Mount Cotton. You've just done the incredible Mount Cotton Road. Do you feel invigorated for motorcycling? Are you going to go there tomorrow? In fact, are you dropping everything right now to scramble to your motorcycle and or associated vehicle to come out and do Mount Cotton Road? That's it, it's 7 kilometers long, I think. Well, it said it was 7 kilometers to Mount Cotton. I just waved at the guy behind me for not running me over with his large truck. That's it. That's the road. From here I decide to check out West Mount Cotton Road. That's why there's still probably like 20 minutes left on this video. So stay tuned for that because it's moderately better. Alright, so I'm turning left here. That whole corner is pretty much just all gravel, but this is, I think it was Wodonga Road or something. You've got to follow this one along until West Mount Cotton Road, turning off to the right. I was winging it from here. I'd forgotten pretty much what the map had said. I was hoping there was just a big turn, but that's okay. See if you can see where I go wrong. Yeah, that big T intersection that we've literally just passed, that was my turn, and it was 8 minutes. But here we are again, so we're heading back. That's that same corner, and now we are going to take this road and following behind a brand new, I think that's a Ram in front of us. Interesting choice of car for out here, but I'm sure it actually serves a purpose here. Now, I also mentioned that the sound for this section is gone. That's because the batteries in my recorder gave up while I was getting lost. So if the sound doesn't quite match up, or rather, if it just sounds like I took the audio from Ford Road and copied and pasted it without really double checking it, that's because that's exactly what I did. So you'll have to deal with it. On reflection, rewatching this footage, I rather enjoyed West Mount Cotton Road. I think I was just mostly at the time put off by how dull actual Mount Cotton Road turned out to be. As you can see here, it's quite nice. There's good elevation. There's some gentle corners. It's not a racetrack. It's not Nebo, but coming up through these sections right now, it starts to get really pleasant. So maybe it's worth it just for this. section of road is obviously absolutely coated in some kind of powder, which I did not personally find to be slippery. Very concerning, yes, but I did not have issues of grip. And as you can see, it stretches on into the distant future on the road as well. So thankfully it wasn't too much of a drama. However, I don't like slipperiness. Motorcyclists often don't. So still be careful and don't take my word as gospel. And there we have it. That's those are our 3 routes for the day. That's the end of West Mount Cotton Road. The T intersection we're looking at up in front is regular Mount Cotton Road. If you were to be going from the Logan home area, and you were heading out to not Redcliffe, what's it called? Redland Bay, Wynnum, Cleveland kind of area. By all means, jump onto West Mount Cotton Road, enjoy yourself. Jump onto Ford Road and Avalon Road and enjoy yourself. But by no means take an entire day where you could be riding somewhere else for the express purpose of exploring that road, because it's boring. And it's not that it's actively bad, it's just like people talk about it like it's a cool riding road, and it's just not really worth your time when, I mean, especially on the south side, you have access to so many different locations. So there you have it. Enjoy yourself, ride safe as always, and we at the team will speak to you all again soon.